Hi, this is Scott Bradley from the NFL My Opinion. Check me out at nflmyopinion.blogspot.com, or you can follow me at Twitter at NFL My Opinion on Twitter, or facebook.com/NFL My Opinion. You can like me there. This is my brother Brian Bradley with me, and we're going to do the week 12 picks. First game's Green Bay at Detroit. Who do you think is going to win, Brian?
Well, I think Green Bay will take this one. Detroit's defense is ranked high, but I think it's inflated by their opponents they played. I think they played Minnesota and Kansas City, and a couple teams like that, and Denver, who all have poor passing offenses, and I just don't feel like they're gonna. That represents a team like Green Bay. When they played Dallas, Romo threw for 331 and 3 touchdowns. He did throw for 3 picks, but that's Romo's very spotty. Rodgers isn't a spotty quarterback. He's real consistent, and also Green Bay's defense forces turnovers, so I think that'll be a big difference maker in this game. And I think Green Bay wins by a touchdown, maybe 10 points or so.
Well, I agree that Green Bay's defense does make turnovers, but I think even if Stafford throws a pick or two, Lions, I think there's too much for the Green Bay's pass defense. They're not going to get a break like they've gotten all the rest of these weeks against the Buccaneers and the Chargers. I'm not going to argue with the Packers being a bad team or anything. They're a great team, but I don't think the Packers D can handle the Lions offense this week in Detroit on Thanksgiving. It's a big game. I think Green Bay's got to lose somewhere, and I don't think they can go undefeated with their pass defense. It's just not. I don't think it's possible. So I got Detroit winning this game between 7 and 14. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be 35-42, somewhere in there. It could be really high scoring. But Detroit's got one of the best pass defenses. Like you said, they've been against some under-par teams, so I guess we'll see what they can do against Green Bay. But I have Detroit in this one. Next game we got is Miami at Dallas. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Miami's just not a very good team. They've won 3 in a row. I'll give them that.
Oh.
Sparano has got. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's Sparano or if it's Reggie Bush's, little fit he had a few weeks ago. That's kind of. He's playing well. I'll give him that. But they've been against horrible teams. They played Buffalo, Kansas City, and Washington, and those are just. Buffalo started out good, but they've fallen off. And we know Kansas City and Washington are not playing well at all. And so Dallas is playing a different level right now. Unless we get a bunch of turnovers by Tony Romo, I just don't see the Dolphins winning this one. And specifically, this is in Dallas, Thanksgiving. This is their day. This is their game.
0 touchdowns in 3 weeks. That's what Miami's defense has allowed.
Oh.
I know it's been against rough teams, but, man, their defense is coming on right now. I don't know. This is a really tough game for me to call. I picked Miami going into Dallas. If they lose this game, I guess the streak's over. Maybe the momentum dies, but they got so much momentum. The team is so hyped up. Somehow Sparano's got these guys going. They believe in Sparano. I got Miami taking Dallas in this one. Miami's run defense is incredible. They're going to stop DeMarco Murray, whoever's running the football. It doesn't matter. The only question is Jason Witten. He might be the difference maker, but Kevin Burnett, one of Miami's middle linebackers, is playing better pass coverage, so I take Miami in this one. In a tough game, but I think Miami wins it. We got San Francisco at Baltimore with Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh. Who's going to win this one?
Well, I'm going to go with Baltimore. I'm personally not sold on San Francisco. They play in a horrible division. Their defense is playing lights out. So I'll give them that, and I think they've done a great job turning it around this year, and I think they're heading in the right direction. But I don't think they've played a team with the caliber defense that Baltimore is going to present, and with Alex Smith just kind of. I know they don't like calling him a game manager, and so I don't want to disrespect him by calling him a game manager, but he's not putting up superb numbers, and I think when he could be pressed here, and he may or may not revert back to the old Alex Smith that we know, but I know that Baltimore's defense has been superb in years past and this year, and I feel like he'll be pushed this year or in this game, and specifically being in Baltimore, I just think that's going to cause problems. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a close game, 2 good defenses, but I think Baltimore will win because Joe Flacco is just a better quarterback than Alex Smith, and that's what it's going to come down to because neither team will be able to run the ball, and it's just going to be who can out-quarterback the other.
Well, it looks like our Thanksgiving Day could be really bad for one of us and really good for the other. I got San Francisco in this game. I think they're for real at 9-1. I think Jim Harbaugh is for real. Uh, Alex Smith is a game manager, I think, and I think it was Jim Harbaugh was talking to somebody on ESPN radio, and they called him a game manager, and he didn't realize why it was such an insult because being a game manager wins you games, and that doesn't necessarily mean he can't throw the football. But I don't think he does that great. I think he probably puts up numbers he's been putting up. I don't think he throws a lot of picks. Maybe Reed will pick one off. I don't know. But I think 49ers run defense, it's been incredible. Joe Flacco, I don't know. I'm not sold on Joe Flacco. He's been around for a while, but him and Matt Ryan both have been shaky at times this year. So I think 49ers defense does enough to take out the Ravens, and the rookie coach Jim Harbaugh gets a victory against his brother. For the first Sunday game, we got Houston at Jaguars, and Matt Schaub has been put on IR now. So who do you think's going to win that one?
Well, I mean, Houston, yeah, there's lost their starting quarterback, so it looks bleak. I mean, Matt Leinart coming in, he's been real sketchy in his career. But at the same time, their rushing attack, you got the two-headed monster of Tate and Foster. Foster's been a machine, and then Tate off the bench has been amazing as well. I mean, I don't know if it's just their offensive line or they're both just that great, but either way, they're both putting up amazing numbers. And I just think that, I mean, with Jacksonville's passing attack being 32nd in the league, I mean, they're a bad team right now. And they got Gabbert coming. I mean, he's working in his niche, trying to become the starting quarterback there, and they could be a good team in the future. But right now, it's just not their year. And I think even with Leinart starting, I think they will be able to run the ball and control the game and give Leinart some opportunities. It sounds like Andre Johnson's going to be playing this week again, and that's just going to open up a whole new can for the Texans offense, our new arsenal, and I think it's going to be too much even with Leinart starting.
Yeah, I agree. Just throw the ball up in the air and Johnson will catch it. But they don't even need to throw the ball necessarily with the two-headed monster, like you said. I agree completely. Texans are going to win this game. Like you said, the 30-second pass offense with Jacksonville, and Texans defense is playing pretty well this year outside of their offense. It's kind of sad to see that the Texans, Matt Schaub got hurt, but we'll see what Leinart can do, and they just signed Kellen Clemens, so we'll see if he gets a shot at all. But yeah, so I got the Texans win that game. We both agree on that one. Then the next game is the Bills at Jets. They're both 5-5, fighting for number 2 in the division. Maybe trying to squeak back into the division race. Probably not. Who do you got in that game?
Well, neither team's playing really well right now. I mean, the Bills, Chan Gailey, after the Dolphin loss, said we lost offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, they got beat all up and down the field in every facet. So, yeah, and Fitzpatrick, since he got his big contract, has been playing horribly. And it's not going to get any easier against Darrelle Revis and company on the defensive side of the field. The Jets' offense has been spotty at best. But when it comes right down to it, I'm going to give it up to the best defense in this situation. And Jets being at home, it's always going to play in the crowd factor. And I just feel like since both teams aren't playing great, it's just going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. And I think the Jets will capitalize on some mistakes made by Bills because they're just not playing good right now. If it was early in the season when they were playing better, maybe Bills. But with the Jets playing, with their defense playing so well, that's probably what I think they'll end up winning. So Jets in this one.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Fitzpatrick has been terrible since he got his contract. Bills, like you said, all facets of the game last week. They got a punt blocked. The Jets are not playing very well either, but I think, like you said, their defense is doing enough. I don't really know if Sanchez will do anything, but I think he'll do enough on offense. Maybe Sean Green will finally step into his own against the Bills. We'll see. I got the Jets in this one too. Then we got the Browns at the Bengals, and the Bengals have lost 2 in a row, but it's been against the Steelers and the Ravens, so you can't really fault them entirely for that. But the Browns just got a victory, not necessarily the most impressive, but it was still a victory. Browns are 4-6, Bengals are 6-4. Who do you think's gonna win this one?
The Browns are, they can give you a fight, but at the end of the day, the Bengals are playing playing pretty well. I mean, they fought with the two very tough teams, maybe the two toughest teams in the AFC. Last week they could have, a couple calls maybe could have gone their way, and they maybe would have been able to beat the Ravens. So I just think the Bengals overall are just a better team right now than the Browns. Not to say the Browns don't have a good future ahead of them. I mean, they're working at it, but I just think the Bengals will be too much for them to handle this week, and it'll be the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree completely too. Peyton Hillis has been ruled out for this week again. That Madden curse is really biting him in the butt here. But even with Peyton Hillis, it wouldn't matter. Like you said, the Bengals are too much for them to handle. I think the Bengals are a pretty good team. I think they could make the playoffs, and I think the Browns are going to be just pushover team. I mean, it could be a stumbling block, but I doubt it after the two losses, tough divisional losses. I think that they'll take this one by the horns and get a victory.